Welcome back everybody! Today we're making gluten-free waffles. And instead of using a prefabricated gluten-free flour, we're going to use 5 different types of flour that are naturally gluten-free. So first I'm making my gluten-free flour mix, and I'm starting with ground hazelnut. I'm putting 50 grams of each flour into the bowl and then I'll mix it. And next one is almond. So ground nuts make a really good gluten-free flour substitute. And then the next flour I'm adding is chestnut flour. So even though it's a nut, the flour is very much like a cereal flour, but it's gluten-free. Then I'm also adding in oat flour. So even though it's a cereal, it has no gluten in it. And then I'm also adding in buckwheat. So that's your flour mix done. You don't have to use all of it at once. I'm only going to use about 150 grams of this for this recipe, and then the rest you can store away. So for the actual waffle mix, I'm just taking a bowl and I'm adding 3 eggs, which I'm beating lightly. Then I'm adding 1 tablespoon of sugar, which is optional of course, but it makes them sweeter. Then 1 teaspoon of baking powder. This is also technically optional, but it really helps to make a fluffy waffle. Then I'm adding in a part of my flour mix, and I'm just whisking it together, and then I'm going to add some milk. And I'm going to add more of the flour mix until all my 150 grams are used up. Then just add as much milk as you need to make the right consistency, so like a thick pancake batter. And then lastly I'm also going to add in 1 tablespoon of melted coconut oil. Keep some of the oil behind because you'll be using it to brush the waffle machine. And like I said, you can store the rest of your flour in an airtight container and it will last for a long time. And now using your preheated waffle machine or waffle iron, brush some oil on the waffle machine and then pour your batter in, and be careful not to overfill it. It's better to put in less at first in case you're worried, because what you don't want is the dough to overspill and flow all over the place. And then you want to close your waffle machine, and then after a minute or so your waffles are ready, and carefully take them out. And that's it. Just use up the rest of your batter to make all your waffles and you're done. And these waffles really are amazing. They are fluffy and super tasty because of all the different types of flour we've been using. So it's not just a recipe for people who are gluten intolerant. It's just an incredibly tasty waffle recipe in general, and I prefer them to regular waffles. Well, here we are with our finished waffles, and they smell amazing. I'm sure they're going to taste amazing too, so let's try them. Just a really amazing and intense flavor from all the different flours, especially the nut flours. So the ground hazelnut and the ground almond, the chestnut flour, it really works well. So even though this is a gluten-free recipe, I mean, it's not only for people who are gluten intolerant, it's just a really tasty waffle and using alternative flours or types of flours. So I really encourage you to try this recipe because it tastes amazing. So I hope you enjoyed this recipe. If you did, please give us a thumbs up, and if you have any questions, leave us a comment. And if you're new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe, and most of all, thanks for watching. See you next time.